Welcome back to the channel. My apologies for my absence. It has been a long while, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Today we're revisiting the 88 Defender EV conversion, and as you can see, this one-man army has made some great progress in the last year. The last we left our protagonist, Michael, he had some great ideas but still needed to iron out the details. While he was hard at work figuring out a way to squeeze in the electric power plant and the parts needed, he also did an amazing top-to-bottom restoration, and all by himself, I might add. Well, he's almost all the way there, but instead of me trying to explain this, I'll let him get into the nitty-gritty of this build and what it takes to get it done.
Everything came completely off the chassis. It was a complete off-frame restoration. The chassis was then stripped of most of its rust. Obviously, you can't get all of it. Then I put 2 coats of Por 15 on the chassis and all of the ancillary parts. That was a little glossy when it dried, and I didn't like the way the glossy looked on the old chassis, so I put the Por 15 primer on top of that, which is the only thing that sticks to the Por 15 paint, so you have to use that. And then I put truck bed liner on top of that. I rebuilt everything except the differentials. So I didn't take the covers off the diffs, that stayed, but I rebuilt the hubs, put everything back. I didn't rebuild the transmission. I did rebuild the transfer case. I also upgraded a little bit. So there's a couple of heavy duty shafts, replacement shafts that they recommend for it.
Can we see how it couples into the electric motor that you have in there right now? Or
yeah, actually, you can see the motor. That's the NetGain Hyper 9 motor. It's actually a dual shaft. There's a secondary shaft on this side in case the one is not strong enough. You can always put a second one in.
That's awesome. And you got the room? You got the clearance?
I don't, but I didn't know that when I bought the motor. It misses by, I think, about 1/4 of an inch.
So that back there, this is the adapter plate that you bought. Is that
Yep.
Is that right?
That's
the
from
one we were
Can
waiting for?
EV. It's a Canadian EV company.
Yep.
They make that little adapter that lets you go from the standard B-face motor to the specific clutch housing for this transmission. This motor is very close in horsepower and torque to the diesel that was in
Yes, I recall that.
So what a lot of guys are doing, they're taking the crazy high torque engines out of Tesla and they strip out everything, including the transfer case, the transmission. They just bolt right into that.
This was your goal, though, is to kind of keep the stock drivetrain.
I wanted a stick.
Yeah,
I wanted somebody to sit in the driver's seat and go, wow, this is the Defender that I remember when I was a kid in high school, right? Because that's the nostalgia aspect of it.
Exactly, yeah. When I'm looking at this battery pack on the floor,
Yep.
and I'm curious as to what it's got to go in the back, obviously. Nothing.
Nope. It's going right there.
You're putting it here?
Yep.
This is what this brace is for?
Yep. This I made. This is bolted here and bolted back here. It's actually the support for the motor. So the motor hangs on a bracket.
Oh, okay, I see that.
Yep.
That makes sense, yeah.
And it's also the brace for the battery box.
Your goal was 200 plus miles of range.
Yeah, not going to get that.
Exactly. So, well, okay, so what do you expect? Are we expecting 50 to 75? Like, what's our anticipation?
I'm guessing 75 miles, 60 to 75 miles out of that.
And obviously you have full clearance.
Yeah.
You'll know that this fits in here. Hood closes.
Yep.
Bonnet closes.
Bonnet closes.
Right, all right, we're English here.
I'm actually very happy about that box. There's a company that makes this now. It's a modular battery box. So if you look, each of those lines, these are modules. If you want 7 batteries, you get a box that fits 7 batteries, and then you can just add those side panels and add or remove batteries to it.
Oh, wow, it's fully modular. So you can just snap off that back, add another 2, snap it back on, and you've expanded.
A company called Amp Revolt makes this. I found it online. I'm not sure that this was available when I started this thing, because I was planning on building a battery box out of steel.
I recall.
So I was incredibly happy incredibly pleased to find this thing. I'm trying to keep all of the electrical kind of close and tight. The electrical is actually going to go in the back. So all of the electrical is just going to be, all of the high-powered electrical is going to be back here, the 4-aught cable and whatnot. I'm trying to keep the runs as short as possible.
Yeah.
These are my runs from the motor controller to the motor itself. The longer your 4-aught cable, the more resistance it gives, and the higher the amperage and the higher the heat. That's what you're trying to minimize.
Yeah. And what's that black box on the left right there?
This is just an extension of the battery connection. So if you look inside the battery box, they're not all in here yet, but each of these batteries has a little module. It's a little card.
Yep.
Stealth EV makes these. From this card, it gives you 6 different voltages and 2 different temperature readings. It was going to be a pain in the ass to try to wire all of these and then come through a cable gland and go into this thing, and then it wouldn't be modular and it wouldn't be easily serviceable. So I 3D printed this thing.
Nice.
And just extended each of these with Molex connectors to this. So when I need to service it, I disconnect these harnesses from here, and the whole battery box is, and when obviously these, actually 3 connections to the battery, and then the whole battery box is isolated. I anticipate this thing coming, going in and out a few times. So the extra work is worth it.
Yeah, I guess that would be my concern. And then the coolant lines, and that's on the other side now.
Yep.
How does that come into play?
The minimum required product is just to get cooling lines to each of the batteries and then to a small radiator and a fan. That's all I need to get this thing running. Technically, you don't need it. It'll let you charge the batteries faster.
Okay.
Because the batteries won't heat up as much
Makes
when they're
sense.
charging. On warm days or even cold days, if you're pushing the engine harder, if you're pushing the motor harder, you'll generate more heat in the batteries. You'll be able to extract that and more power for a longer period of time.
Yeah. You're reminding me of my RC cars. Because as
Yes.
that temperature gone up, I know that battery
Yep.
was just charged, but I'm slugging along.
Yep.
And what are we expecting 0 to 60 on this puppy?
Eventually. Eventually.
To be moving one day.
I've heard people, Land Rover people say as slow as possible, as fast as necessary, something like that.
Just you make sure it's better than like a Model T. You know what I mean? Make
Just-
sure you're not the.
It just has to do 60. I'll be
Yeah,
happy.
exactly. Yeah, just be highway speed. You
Yep.
know, at least be able to get on 684. So what's going on with the interior then? What's your plans on the interior?
I haven't gotten there yet,
Okay.
but I have all the pieces over there. I've been kind of looking at different sites about how to recover.
Yeah.
The fake leather,
Okay, yeah.
plastic coating on those things.
Yeah.
I want to keep it as original looking as possible, but I still have to make room for the Raspberry Pi. The screen. Well, no, the screen.
Oh, the
it's
screen,
a little
okay,
7-inch
yeah.
screen because you still have to, do stuff from there.
Is the Raspberry Pi also part of the starting mechanism? How
Yeah,
are we?
yeah, that's the part of the key mechanism.
Okay.
So that is mostly done. I worked on that over the winter. It recognizes my phone by Bluetooth, and it's all programmable.
Did you write this yourself?
Yeah, I wrote it.
You
It's
did.
Python.
God, I love it.
But
I'm so jealous of programmers. Because you see something, it's like art. You know what I mean? You see something, you go, this is what I want to do. Where I'm just
Right.
like, I hope somebody's done this so I can steal it.
that works too. I still have all the gauges. All the gauges were in good shape. I got to figure out how to do things like make the speedometer say it's going 60 when it's going 60. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put some sort of variable speed motor in there
What's your expected time for completion, or at least
eventually.
enough to...
I personally enjoy Mike's nonchalant attitude towards the completion of this project. He's going at his own pace and still making great progress. Within the time it took me to edit this, which was way too long, he was able to do a test mount of the battery and prove that he can get the wheels spinning.
We've reached a milestone.
A milestone indeed. I'll be following up with him after it's registered to do a drive review and see if he's happy with the final product. Just know I'm really trying to post more videos, but my full-time job and my now almost 1-year-old boy come first, obviously. Either way, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.
This looks like you could fit another one of these onto this. How do you know that you can't?
Tape measure?
Tape.